Hi, it's Wendy Hernandez with Command the Courtroom. In this week's video, I want to talk with you a little bit about third-party rights, which really could be grandparents' rights or step-parents' rights, or the rights of a person who's really been deeply involved in a child's life, to the extent that that person can say that they have acted in the place of a parent to that child. So I just finished a case that's been going on for several months where my client and her significant other raised a little girl for several years, for the majority of her life, actually, from the time she was 2 to the time she was almost 7. And the reason she was raising that little girl was because that the mother of the child was having some serious problems with drugs, and the father of the child, my client's son, was unavailable. So at the request of the mother, my client took custody, physical custody of the little girl, and raised her pretty much as her own, got her enrolled in kindergarten. She was there during the nights when the little girl was sick. She was nursing her to health. She helped her with homework. She got her involved in extracurricular activities. And then out of nowhere, last year, mom kind of appeared, and there was some stuff that led up to it, but mom decided that she wanted her daughter back. And so she took her daughter back from one day to the next, literally, and prevented my client, the grandmother, from having a relationship with the child over the next 8 months. My client only got a few hours with that child over the next several months. So what my client decided to do was file for grandparents' rights. And these are difficult cases for judges. These are some of the most difficult cases for judges because judges have to balance a parent's right to make decisions about his or her own child versus the rights of somebody who's been very deeply involved with that child's life. And it's a hard thing to do. And it's a high standard that the third party has to meet in order to win grandparents' rights. That person who's standing in the place of a parent to a child has to show how they've acted like a parent in that child's life and how it would be significantly detrimental for that child to be denied access to the person who acted in the place of the parent. The burden is really high. And I will tell you, over my nearly 2 decades of doing family law work, I've handled several of these cases, and I've had mixed results. I have had people who went in front of a judge and told the judge about the close relationship that they had with the child or children, and the judge said, too bad, so sad. A parent can parent his or her children any way that she wants or he wants. And if that parent doesn't want you to have any visitation, then that's the way it is. And that was those are devastating results, not only for the grandparents, but especially for the children. And then I've had other cases like the one I was just talking about, where the judge looked at the situation and said, hey, grandma pretty much raised this little girl, and it's going to hurt this little girl. It's going to deny her of extra love and extra support if grandma's not allowed to be in this little girl's life. And the judge gave my client visitation. And my client was happy. It's not nearly enough because my client was used to having the little girl live with her, but it's better than nothing, and that could have easily happened. So what I want to ask you to do is that if you're involved in a grandparents' rights case or a step-parents' rights case or any type of third-party rights case over the custody or visitation of a child, I want you to think about what is really best for your child or the children. Put whatever your agenda is aside if you can, and I encourage you to do that. Put your ego aside and think only about the child, because what children want and what they need is love. And a child can never have enough love. And just because, I would say that just because there's more people involved in that child's life is not taking anything away from another person. It's only adding to that child's life. Now, on the other hand, if the involvement of a third party is going to add more drama and conflict and upheaval to a child's life, then maybe it's not in the best interest of a child to have that third party involved. But just like in any case involving children, people need to try to put their differences aside, minimize the conflict, not have the conflict happening in front of the child, because that's what serves the child best. for the children best. But above all, children need love, they need support, they want the people who are important to them to be present in their lives. So as you proceed in your third-party rights case, research the law in your jurisdiction, but think about what's best for the children involved. So if you haven't already liked Command the Courtroom on Facebook, be sure and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. You'll get access to my videos as soon as they're released once a week. And go to the Command the Courtroom website at commandthecourtroom.com for the best interest checklist. And coming soon, we're going to have an update to the website, and there's going to be more stuff available to you there. Until next week, keep on trucking and remember to command the courtroom.